Hey everyone, Tanner Bell here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you guys here today because we're talking about design space hacks you probably did not know. I am so excited for this video. We have compiled 16 of our favorite hacks that are related to Cricut Design Space. Now, if you are brand new here to our channel, I want you guys to just take a moment and hit that subscribe button right out of the gate. We have an amazing membership community called makersgonnalearn.com where you get access to digital cut files, fonts for our annual best value membership tier, education, motivation, and training to teach you how to master your die cutting machine. We have a huge specific education on Cricut, but we also have amazing pieces of art and fonts that work with all kinds of digital die cutting machines. So we are super excited to jump in and share with you guys some of our favorite design space hacks. So if you're excited, let's jump into it. All right, guys, we're in Cricut Design Space, and one thing I love to start off when you are in Cricut Design Space is that you want to work with basic shapes to create the exact dimension of your project base. This will help ensure project success. For example, we're going to be able to take a simple square and size it to exactly potentially what canvas we're working with. So say we have a canvas that is 8 by 8. This is going to allow you to have something right here for them, for you to visualize your project and have great success. It's a great way to see if your created design will fit well into it and help you size your design accordingly. So now after you have this base, you can go in and say, okay, I want to design, let it snow, and bring it on here and size it exactly where we want it and, be able to position it. So this right here, you can then, go to align center right here, and it's go position this right in the center and let us see what is going on. So I always use those basic shapes to create my canvas size, and then after that, I can just simply click on that layer, delete it out, and then move on with my project. So always be sure to do that. It's very handy and helpful. So next up, I'm just going to delete that. And then number 2 is regarding fonts. It is always so much easier to use one word per text box. For example, if you want to type out "it's Christmas time," this is okay, but we prefer to recommend to type it out one per text box so that you're able to kern this individually, and then be able to work with that a lot easier with spacing and different things for kerning. So you can go over here and pick one of our different fonts. This is Mary Catherine, so you would be able to really easily work with these fonts and different things, So why we do that is with these more complicated fonts and things, you want to have a different text box per word, because then you're going to be able to kern it a lot more. So this font right here is called Community, and I wanted to use this as an example because if you type this out without a cursive font and things like that, it's not always the best. So then, each word is going to be able to use letter spacing and bring it closer. But then there's going to be some words like Christmas that just this letter spacing is not going to be good enough, and we're going to actually have to kern it. And it's a lot easier to be able to kern and really get in there when you are able to use a separate text box. So right here, after this, you'll want to ungroup. And when you ungroup, it's always best to ungroup just each word so you're not overwhelmed with too many layers. It's one of our favorite tips. So then you'll be ready to go and you're able to visualize this on a much better basis. So that's one of our favorites. So that is number 2. Now number 3 is a great tip what you're going to be able to do is, help yourself out by, say you have kerned this word and you want to make sure everything is aligned bottom or anything like that with it. So just for the sake of this quick demonstration, I'm going to simply just write out time as well and then be able to kern it. So we're going to move down here to letter spacing. We're going to bring this closer together. And now you'll see we just need to ungroup and bring that T closer. So once we're happy with that, we'll weld it, as well as our Christmas. Weld that, and weld it. Just like so. So now that we're happy here, you're going to be able to select all 3 of these layers, and you can use the alignment tool. Now, we always love to use the align tool to make projects look very professional. We use it often for aligning text, centering designs, and things like that. So you can quickly, center horizontally and have everything centered up, and then, kind of work with it. So we just want to move this down here, move this up, and things like that. And then you can go through and align horizontally again, and look at how quick it was able to center that up for our design. So you can make any simple changes. You may say, okay, I want it to be up a little bit higher, and things like that. So it's definitely up to you, but using the align tool is a great way to get moving in the right direction when you're wanting perfectly professionally designed spacing and things like that with the align tool. Now, number 4, moving items around on the mat. This will help you save time and material. So what does that mean? Let's go over and click Make It. So right here, Cricut has already designated how they want us to cut this out on the mat, and it is not always going to be the best. As you're going to be able to see with different projects and things like that, you are going to find that sometimes you want to be able to click on a different layer and cut it out on the same mat, but maybe in a different color. So you're actually able to kind of play around with these, move it around and whatnot. Now for this exact project, if you wanted to cut it out just like we see here, you would want to select it and then weld it so that it's now one image, and when you go to make it, it's going to cut just like you see it right here on the mat. But let's go ahead and add in, some other cut files. So if we add in the Let It Snow and add in this just cut file right here, you're going to be able to see that there's going to be a few different variations. So let's just have this all right here. And as we click Make It, it is going to set up these different mats for us. So we may want to move the family over and be able to, move these over to another mat. So we can move it to the other black mat and position how we want to cut this. We can easily move things around to another mat. So it's going to help you save time and material, and truly Design Space doesn't place designs and shapes in the areas that are always go maximize material savings. You can even move objects from one mat to another like we're showing here, which is super helpful. So then you're able to just quickly, move those around and have some really great results. So we love that, and it's always handy. So let's just press continue. And as you connect to your machine, there's a few different ways if you have not already done this. But one of my favorite things is to favorite your materials you use often. And it's super easy to do that. So let me share with you guys how. So this is number 5. Look at how easy it is to be able to do that. You just want to be able to select it. So you hover your mouse over the material, you'll go add, and you'll see the little star pop up. And all you want to do is click on the little star and now you've been able to move it over to your favorites. So these are truly 4 of our absolute favorite different material settings, and it's really nice to favorite at them so you're not overwhelmed by all the popular ones, or heck, you can even browse all of the materials, and that is definitely a little overwhelming. So after you've selected your material, say we're going to cut this on vinyl, number 6 is use more or less pressure. This is going to ensure project success depending on the newness of your Cricut blade. So say you have a blade that you know has been through it just a little bit, you've been cutting a lot on it, and you just feel like you're not getting the best, deep cut. What you'll want to do is just right after you've selected your material, it's going to actually give you default more or less. So if it's a brand new blade and you've noticed that it's cutting way too much into your vinyl and it's actually cutting your backing off, that is when you want to use less pressure. But if you are trying to get that value out of your blade, you just want to click on more pressure, and then you're able to give, more or less pressure dependent on the blade. So it's that easy. Those are some of my favorite tips, walking through the process of setting up the mat, selecting the material, favoriting my favorite materials, and then working with the more or less pressure. So let's just go ahead and press cancel, and you can click yes. And now we can press cancel here, and we're back to the canvas. So we can just clear these out. Now for number 7, this is one that is only relevant to our friends that are using iOS, and this is called Smart Guides. So Smart Guides you can find under the right side, the right bottom. If you do not have it automatically turned on, for most people it will automatically be turned on, and it just quickly aligns things for you guys using the Smart Guides. So it's there, and it lets you pop things in and out really easily. So you would just want to turn that on in the bottom right hand corner with the settings, and it can again be on and off. Now, fun tip, I use it all the time, but when I'm kerning individual words, I always turn it off because you do not want things snapping into place. But unfortunately, I cannot demonstrate that today due to us just using the desktop. So moving on to number 8. This is one that I just recently learned. So guys, if you have been a Cricut user for quite some time, you are going to be blown away. This is actually going to use the Shift key on your keyboard to straighten items when rotating in Cricut Design Space. So say we'll use the hexagon as an example today. You just want to hold the Shift key down as you rotate it, and look, it's not letting us spin it. It is actually going to keep it nice and straight, and only go into these different sections. So that is super awesome. And as you move the mouse down, notice it's not moving because it's going to kind of lock into place to keep everything really nice. So you can let go of the Shift key, and then you're able to drag it all you want, and it's nice and fluid. But when you use that Shift key and then rotate it, it's going to snap it into place. So this helps straighten things out. Sometimes I get too crooked on different designs and things, so this helps you just keep it nice and straight. So yeah, you can just spin that around, and it's super helpful for a lot of different shapes. Now guys, I brought back another word for number 9. This one's super helpful. So I've been able to use letter space, bring it pretty close together, but now we're going to ungroup it. So now each letter is its own layer. And why I've done this is because we want to be able to share with you guys how you can use arrow keys on your keyboards, because it is a must for easily kerning words. You'll probably need additional kerning, but it helps to get the letters close without messing up the alignment of the letters. So notice you can just bring that over. Look at how easy it is. You can now press these, and we'll bring it closer to the S. And look at how just using those arrow keys, it is so helpful to be able to bring everything in without messing up the alignment of each letter and dragging it around. And we can just select this S, bring it over, and check it out. So it is that easy, and once you're happy with it, you would be able to select it and weld it. So super, super awesome. So let's go ahead and weld that. How awesome is that? And then if you click make it, you'll be able to see it on the mat. So say you wanted to cut this word out 5 times because you're working on 5 different projects or things like that. For our next hack, it is making project copies. So instead of having to duplicate it 5 times on the canvas, there's truly an easier way. Over here in the top left-hand corner, after you press make it, you will see project copies. So you just want to go up to 5 and click apply. And look right here, it has already set this up for us to be able to do that. It is super easy and a lot of fun to have project copies quickly there for us to take advantage of. And you guys will truly believe how easy that is. So it's super awesome. So now we'll be able to, if you needed to cut that out, move forward with the other tips and steps we've been talking about. But now we'll be able to press cancel and go back to the map, and we can delete this. Now guys, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is number 11, and that is using basic shapes to create tons of things otherwise you would have to purchase or do or browse, forever on Makers Can Learn or Cricut. And a lot of times you can design these yourselves with basic shapes. For example, you can create a house super easily out of a square and a triangle. So this would be a great little house. We actually are taught a little bit about this at one of our training courses, but you can easily, work with what you have to create basic things like homes, and you can even select the triangle and kind of make it not as pointy and things like that to truly look like a traditional home. And then you would be able to weld it together. And this is just one of the very easy and simple ways to be able to use these basic shapes for so much more than just rectangles, triangles, or squares. So that is super awesome. All right, guys, number 12. This is a huge, crucial thing. If you guys are, wanting to make projects and have a lot of success with it, you always want to duplicate a project before welding. This is going to allow you to ensure you have a backup if you decide you ever need to change anything after welding, because as we know, welding is a permanent solution and cannot be edited after once it's done. So all these layers right here before we weld it, just for anyone wondering, look over here to the right side and see all these different layers, okay? Once we weld this together, it is going to be able to cut exactly as you see it here. So again, let's press make it, and you're going to see this is not at all what we want. So how to get that is we are going to have to weld all of this together. So if we do that, watch what happens. We weld it, and now it is one layer, and this layer we can just delete. It was not in our project. So what happens is now it's going to cut exactly like we had it. So what we need to do in case we ever want to make any changes is before we weld it, we're going to undo. You want to actually select all and then duplicate. So this is going to allow you to have 2. It's going to give you a safety. So you can take it over here, and now, whoops, look at me. Use the undo button to your advantage, my friends. You're going to be able to select all of this right here and now weld it and have one that is welded. That's perfect. You can see right here, and then you'll have a second backup. Now, what I like to share with you guys in number 13 is to hide layers in Design Space you want but don't need to keep them out of your way but close by. So this is a great tool to use after you've duplicated your project before welding like we're doing right now. So what you're going to do is actually select all of this. I like to group it together to quickly organize it, and then watch what happens. This little eyeball, you can hide it. So it's close by. If we make any mistakes here, we decide we want to, rekern suite or change out the word home for apartment or anything like that, we have this grouped one that we can, go right here and work with really easily. So it's that easy to hide or unhide things without worry. So just right here, we have it, and now we can click make it, And look, you have this welded one. It is perfect. It's not going anywhere. You can move it around, and it's super, super easy. Now, number 14 is save all projects that took more than 10 minutes to create. You'll never know when you might need a project again. And if you used 5 different fonts and it took a while to create, you want to make sure you have yourself a potential for a copy of it for your future self. So how easy it is to save a project to your account. You just want to click on save, and we're going to name this Home Sweet Home, and then click save. So anything over 10 minutes, guys, if you've been slaving over a wedding gift, if you've been able to make some awesome Christmas ornaments, anything like that, be sure to save it, and that will just be a really easy way to save what you're working on. All right, guys, for number 15, when working with multiple layers, instead of going and using the Arrange tool to place your layers to the front or back, you can simply drag your layers above one another in the Layers panel to switch their placement quickly and easily. So instead of traditionally selecting the back layer and clicking Send to Front, or saying you need your blue layer to the front, you can easily just drag it. Just how easy is that to switch these around? So you can just move them around really easily, and it's so much more effortless and gives you a lot more control and a lot less clicks. So it is that easy. Again, all you would do is select it and move it down, and you are able to visualize it right here on the canvas, which is super awesome, and we love that. So it is truly that easy. So for number 16, this is one that we use all the time. Zoom. It's over here in the bottom left-hand corner. Zoom is to increase the size of your canvas to more easily see details and designs to fix or see areas needing to be kerned a lot easier. So these little circles are only 3 inches. So, you know, if we were only at 100%, this is what it looks like. So imagine if you're making, you know, small words for ornaments or anything like that, you can just quickly zoom in on your project to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to truly master Design Space with all of these different hacks, guys. We love, love, love all of these hacks, and these are all things that, you know, beginners to Cricut will need to master. And if you guys enjoyed this video and picked up some awesome hacks, be sure to check out our membership site, makersgonnalearn.com. You can click the first link down below and get registered for our membership. We have all kinds of different tiers for the budget you have, but our best value tier comes with 3 free training courses to teach you how to master your machine, master Design Space even more thorough than we went over today, and then build a business with your die cutting machine. So for our lowest price available, you're able to get in on the most perks, lots of bonuses, tons of fonts available for our best value. So if you have any questions on that, leave us a comment down below and let us know what your favorite Design Space hack was. What did you guys think of all of these amazing Design Space hacks? There are so many tips and tricks that even somebody that has worked in Design Space for years will be able to master in this video. So be sure to leave us a comment and let us know which one was your absolute favorite. I cannot wait to see what you guys think of all of these amazing hacks. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And if you are a Makers Gonna Learn member, we will be adding this into a fun printable guide, which is a bonus for all of our amazing members. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and if you're not already a member of Makers Gonna Learn, come on over and join over 3,000 amazing like-minded crafters. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye, guys.